sit down, and shut up! Today, we're going to learn about how awkward and cringy I was in high school. We're going to do this by looking through some of my old assignments. Now, it'll become painfully clear what sort of kid I was as we go through each paper. So clear that you might find yourself asking, Fawn, why didn't you just burn all of this instead of sharing it on the internet? I've been saving every single document I've made since 8th grade for the sole purpose of showing off how dumb this shit is. So pull out your apple juice and graham crackers, kids. Cringe class is in session. Cringe class is in session. It's time to start flexing the things that led to my depression. Today's lesson is loss as it relates to nostalgia. So this is a rough draft of a paper that I turned in on the 18th of September in 2012. So before we turned in any rough drafts, we would have to attach a short letter to our teacher that explained our strengths and weaknesses that we showed in this rough draft. So here's my letter. Dear I believe that my word choice is the best part of my essay. My organization probably needs the most improvement though. But just writing was the easiest thing. I had no need to look up words or stop typing. I suppose that whenever I start, I just can't stop. The most difficult part was coming up with something to write about. I went through a good 30 ideas before settling for this, and I still want to change subjects. I guess I'm just indecisive. I really just need to reread my paper. I started to, and found a number of careless mistakes I made just because I wasn't paying attention. No, it's because I didn't give a shit. I was lazy as f. Peer editing might help, but honestly, I feel comfortable going home and revising my work alone. Sincerely, Fawnover. P.S. My title needs improvement too, but I was not going to use that for my final anyway. What a pretentious little prick. So let's get into this paper. The title? The title of the paper is Loss. I have been a teenager for what seems like an eternity, and have hated nearly every second since I reached 13. Shit, I was 13? Surprisingly, this pivotal time of my existence is not where my sadness stems, but the fact that I have left the rest of my life to wade in a pool of nostalgia and cloudy memory. If one thing could define those young, sweet times of my life, Legos would be Legos would be the only fit answer. Playing with those plastic bricks and yellow people were not just a way to solidify my dreams and ideas, but a way to escape from my harsh life. I was an awkward, self-protective child, and I have still retained those most irritating qualities. So on weekends, I would play with my Legos and Hot Wheels rather than spend the night over at a friend's house. I would build massive ships and guns and have battles, creating sorry, I'm just cringing so hard I can't even speak. Create a shopping center or a house for my plastic residence, or just do anything. I would never get bored, only switching to play with another set of toys or video games, because I was having so much fun already. It is that feeling of filling, that I probably miss the most, but remember the least. What? Nowadays, my weekend consists of boring ramblings of the PlayStation Network, and all of the things I do and actually should be doing. I'm not going to be too harsh about my grammar here because it's awful, but this isn't a writing class. This is cringe class. So, it was last year when I realized how separated I was from my previous self. After an elongated hiatus of intelligent thought and creativity, it was midwinter, and I was my f***ing god. After an elongated hiatus of intelligent thought and creativity, it was midwinter, and I was disintegrating inside. I had not watched My Little Pony: Friendship is Magic for too long, not played a video game that was not blood-filled for too long, and not even— what the fuck? What? Not played a video game that was not blood-filled for too long? Oh my god, I sound like a school shooter. Oh my god. And not even touched my phone in too long. There's a sense of floating that your mind occurs when you're completely disconnected from everyone that you know and everything that you love. So I sat there, suspended in the air, waiting for something to happen. I remembered an old box of Legos and other toys that had been drowned in the psychedelic plastic abyss. It soaked in forgotten sea of items that I called my closet's floor. So I decided to dive into the abyss and try to create some sort of spark in my mind. I pulled out my people first, which I identified by what their battlefield— I guess I'm talking about my Legos? Okay. I pulled out my people first, which I identified by what their battlefield roles were. The medic, a dark-skinned, bearded character from a Lego Spider-Man set. The heavy weapons specialist, he was a Mega Bloks figure, which were cheaper than Lego, and had realistic skin tones instead of yellow, so he was discriminated against constantly, but remained one of my favorites. The woman, the only female— her role is just the woman. The woman, the only female Lego minifigure I ever owned, and served as a romantic interest for nearly every other figure, and only now does that sound suggestive. Oh my god! Why did I write this? Why did I show this to any other living human being? Oh my god, no wonder my teacher hated me. Oh my god. Oh my god. The awesome guy, he usually acted as myself and was always fashionable and had the best weaponry. Oh my god, I sound like a god school shooter. Oh my god. There were many more figures. Some had special powers, others had their own armies, but each one had their own extremely intricate backstory. As I pulled person from person out of the box, I reminisced these histories and all of the great times I had with my younger brothers waging wars against each other. I dragged the tattered box out of the closet and into my room and started building. I was going to build a huge society. There would be buildings and vehicles, maybe a subway system that would wrap around my room. Even the thoughts of such creations bring back a younger, softer heart. Okay, before I go any further, I remember writing this paper. Oh my god. So I remember this paper, this rough draft, being due the very next day. So that night, I was probably playing video games or wasting time or doing something, probably watching YouTube. Who knows? I don't know what we did for fun back in 2012. So I remember remembering that this was due and thinking, oh my god, I need to write a paper about something. What should I write about? And then I remembered, oh my god, I'll just make up a story about how I found my Legos in my closet, and then that'll give me the opportunity to just bullshit about all this nostalgic, stuff. So, I'm having that flashback as I'm reading this. Even the thoughts of such creations bring back a younger, softer heart. I started, and after 3 bricks, the feeling was gone. The plastic no longer carried the warmth that I had shared with it those many years ago, as if it had forgotten me. I nearly cried, realizing that I had lost a portion of myself. All these years, my younger self has been wasting away, dissolving with maturity and intelligence. One would think that new knowledge would only strengthen the child inside, but I have found that with age comes the inevitable demolishment of age. It self-destructs with every passing second, and only the strongest hold on to even the rubble of their youth. I sat there in my room, smelling the cold and feeling wooden warmth surround everywhere I was not. It was as if every sensory organ longed for what I could not provide. I was hungry and could not taste, alone and unable to touch, seeing but unable to see, and attentive yet unable to hear any. I'm sorry, I should start over. I was hungry and could not taste, alone and unable to touch, seeing but unable to see, and attentive yet unable to hear anything. I put the Legos back one by one and returned them so that my childhood friends would not have to see me in my current state. I then slept for the remainder of the midwinter, mentally and creatively. Oh my god. I don't even think that we need to say anything more about that. Holy shit. Maybe this series wasn't a good idea. I'm learning more, way more than I ever wanted to about myself. My god. What did I say earlier? That my youth, it self-destructs with every passing second, and only the strongest hold on to even the rubble of their youth. And I sure as hell hope so. I don't want even the rubble of my youth. I want this to be gone. I should have burned it. Okay, well, now that we've archived this, I can burn it. So that's what we're going to do. After we've read something, after we've read one of our papers, we just can add that to the burn pile. Great. This has been Cringe Class. Please remember to like and subscribe if you cringed. Don't forget to comment. Class dismissed.